What's going on, YouTube? We are back at the lake, Vlogust 9th. Gonna do my normal Tuesday morning run, which is just up and down the trail. Usually anywhere between 8 and 10 miles. It's just a nice, easy run. Usually not that busy of a trail in the morning like this, so that's good. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll have some other stuff that I'm gonna be filming later. But got my No Meat Athlete shirt on here, representing, trying to be an ambassador to the vegan community here. There is no vegan community here in Idaho, but I'm trying to get one anyway. We'll see how that goes. It's been like a year and 3 months, and I don't think I've converted anybody yet. But I'm still trying anyway. All right, guys, I'm gonna go get my run done. All right, what's going on, guys? Back from the run. There it is. Let's take a look here. It's pulling up. There we go. So it was just 10 miles out around the lake and back. Just did the full trail out and the full trail back. Zero elevation gain though. It's actually not that flat of a run. I don't know why there's no elevation gain. That's kind of weird. That must be something wrong there. 1260 calories, so I'm gonna have to eat. I do have a little snack here that I'm gonna be munching on the way home. There's the pace, 8:39. Not super fast. It was very, very windy out there today, actually. Made it for a little bit harder of a run than usual, just fighting the wind the whole time, but it wasn't that bad. Now, I was listening to this podcast here, the Robin Arzone podcast from the Rich Roll Show, and it's a good podcast. She's a runner, used to be a lawyer, now does running and teaches spinning classes and so forth. But she was talking about an interesting thing on there about how some people take running extremely serious, and that in turn intimidates other people and kind of keeps them away from getting started into running. You know, people who are wearing like $700 Garmin's just because they're running like a 5K race or something like that. You know, you don't need to be that serious. I mean, yeah, I have my Garmin watch here. I think I paid $200 for it, but I've had it for a year now. Before that, I had my 310 XT for like 3 years or something like that. I don't know. I just use things until they're done. My watch wasn't overly expensive, but it does what I want it to. When I first started running, at the time, all I had was like a metal watch. It was like a, what is it, titanium or something like that. I don't know. I don't ever wear that shit anymore. But so not a watch that you'd want to bring running with you. So I just went to the dollar store and I bought a watch there because it had a stopwatch on it, and then also just regular time, so I can see what time of the day it was and how long I had been running. And I used that for fucking months. I mean, you don't need to be super fancy. You don't need to have having a heart rate monitor is good. Yeah, you know, having a nice Garmin is good, and it helps when you become more serious about it. But when you first start, you don't need all that shit. Just get out and move, basically, you know. People avoid starting running because they think, well, I can't afford it. I can't afford to buy the watch and the shoes and the heart rate monitor and download all these apps and blah blah blah, and you just don't even do that, really. When I used to run before I had the Garmin, the way I tracked miles was I would run just areas where I had tracked the miles on the odometer on my car, just so I knew, okay, at this point I'm this far from my house, at this point I'm this far from my house, and I just kept track of it in my mind. And then just kept track of, well, how long is it taking me to run this amount of miles? That's what pace I'm going, and so forth. So you don't need to have all the technology to get started. It's not something that's required. What's required is you getting off your ass, getting out the door, and getting moving, because you won't regret doing it. I can assure you of that. It's gonna hurt for the first couple weeks probably, but you won't regret it. What else was she talking about? I think that was mostly it. But also, you know, people who don't want to get started just because there are douchebags in every aspect of life, including running and cycling, where they're the elitists, they think they're always better than you and blah blah blah. I try not to be that way. You know, if you can only run half a mile, or a mile, I'll run that half a mile or a mile with you. Like, I'll run at your pace with you, just to kind of, so you have somebody there with you to run, you know. And then if I want to go do my own run later on, that's totally fine. But I don't have a problem with, you know, going at somebody else's level to help them along, instead of basically saying, well, get the fuck out of the way, you're slowing me down. You know, I don't know. That's just my style anyway. I'm more of a help somebody along the way type of person, I guess. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm gonna go eat and shower because I am covered in sweat and probably disgusting. All right, check in later.